I never planned on digging through regional death certificates. Honestly, I didn't even know the state kept digital archives for funeral homes. It just wasn't on my radar. But then a Freedom of Information Act request came back. It was one of those long shots, a request I fully expected to be denied. Instead, I received an email with an attachment, and it contained something I've never seen before. A spreadsheet, just a simple, cold, digital spreadsheet. It was filled with names, dates, and funeral home assignments. Each line was a life, reduced to data points and a digital signature. At first, I scrolled through it mindlessly. Most of the entries were what you'd expect: routine deaths, elderly people passing away, expected and uneventful. It was a sterile, procedural record of life's final chapter. But then one name, just one, caught my eye. It was just another name in a long list, but something about it made me pause. According to the file, this person had been listed as deceased. Their funeral was scheduled, the body picked up, cremation authorized. Everything seemed in order. It was a standard, closed case. But I'm a details person, so I pulled up the attached documents, specifically the autopsy notes. And that's when I found something impossible. Vital signs had been recorded after the official time of death. A faint pulse, a shallow breath. It was a ghost in the machine, a flicker of life where there should have been none. I went back and cross-referenced the death certificate. It looked completely legitimate. Signed by a coroner, stamped by the county, properly filed. Every box was ticked, but the coroner's own notes told a completely different story. They were a whisper of a horrifying truth. This person had been alive when they were placed in the coffin. My heart started pounding. A typo? A glitch? It had to be a mistake. So I checked the next entry in the spreadsheet. Same thing. Another individual, another pristine certificate, another funeral scheduled, and another set of notes indicating life signs. Alive, sealed, signed off. One after another, the anomalies started appearing. That's when I noticed the pattern. A chilling, undeniable thread connecting these impossible cases. Every single one traced back to the same funeral home, Blackwell and Sons. It was a small, regional operation, the kind of place that's been in a town forever, with decades of quiet, unassuming history. I had to see it for myself. I drove out and found the building on a quiet street, nestled between a bakery and a law office. It had a modest storefront with polished dark wood doors and elegant lettering. Nothing about the outside suggested anything unusual or sinister. It looked like any other respectable business providing a somber, necessary service. I managed to get inside, claiming to be a researcher for a historical society. The air was thick with the scent of lily and something antiseptic. I found the embalming room. It was immaculate, almost surgically clean. Everything was in its proper place. Jars of chemicals were neatly arranged on shelves. Steel tables gleamed under the fluorescent lights, and a row of coffins was stacked against one wall like silent, waiting trophies. I found the receptionist at the front desk. She was an older woman with a kind, practiced smile. I decided to be direct. I asked her about the FIA files, about the discrepancies in the records. Her smile vanished. She paused, her fingers freezing over her keyboard. She looked me dead in the eye, and her voice was low, almost a warning. "You shouldn't be looking into that," she said. The change in her demeanor was so sudden, so absolute. It sent a shiver down my spine. Of course, that only made me press on. I knew there had to be more. I needed to see their internal records. Under the guise of checking historical family plots, I was given access to the archives, a dusty backroom filled with filing cabinets and ledgers. That's where I found them, the logbooks. Old, heavy, leather-bound volumes filled with handwritten records. Page after page of dates, names, and times of service. And then I saw it. Something else. Next to certain entries, there were small, neat check marks. I cross-referenced the names. These check marks were next to entries that didn't match any publicly recorded death in the county database. They were ghosts in the logbook. I flipped to one page, dated 2012. It listed 5 names in a single week. Each had been processed, prepared, and signed off by a single staff member. I looked at the signature. It was the same flowing, confident script that appeared on every single suspicious death certificate I had found in the State S digital file. Then I noticed something even worse. Tucked away in the margins were notes. These weren't medical notes, they were observational, cold, detached descriptions of behavior. My blood ran cold as I read them. Resisted closure, attempted movement during transport, eyes open briefly post-collection, pulse faint but present. And yet, despite these chilling observations, each and every one of these individuals had been cremated, buried, or entombed. They were officially dead, legally deceased. The paperwork said so. But the secret notes in this book screamed that they were alive. I had to find the families. I started making calls. It was difficult, delicate work. Some people I reached thought it was just a bizarre clerical error, a morbid mistake. They were polite but dismissive. Many never returned my calls, but others, they knew. Or at least they suspected something was terribly wrong. One woman, her voice a fragile whisper over the phone, broke my heart. They said he was dead, she told me, talking about her husband. The paperwork was all in order, but I was there when they closed the coffin. I saw him move. I swear I did. Everyone told me it was just grief, that my mind was playing tricks on me. But I know what I saw. Her story gave me the resolve to go back to the Foyer files, to the cold, hard data. I sifted through hundreds, thousands of entries spanning years. Every single suspicious case, every person with post-mortem life signs had one thing in common: the same signature on the death certificate. Someone with authority. Someone with the power to declare a person dead. Someone who should have known the truth, or worse, who chose to ignore it. I tried contacting the coroner's office again, this time armed with specifics. They stonewalled me. They claimed there were no errors in their system. They claimed every certificate matched their official records, that every death was properly verified by their staff. They insisted that what I was suggesting was impossible. But the evidence in my hands, the logbooks, the notes, the family's whispers, it all told me otherwise. I don't know how many people were buried alive. I don't know who ultimately was responsible for this system of premature burial. I don't know how long it went on, or if it's still happening somewhere. All I know is that for years in that quiet town, someone at Blackwell and Sons treated death like paperwork. They turned a sacred duty into a bureaucratic process. And some of the people sealed away in those polished coffins never should have been declared dead at all. It's a terrifying thought that the living can sometimes die on paper long before anyone or anything notices they're still breathing. Thank you for watching. If you found this story as unsettling as I did, please consider subscribing for more deep dives into the unknown. Stay curious and stay safe.